The final trailer of Black Myth Wukong has been released. We've got to see plenty of new footage of the story and also new gameplay of the game. Hi everyone, Marshall here. In this video, I'll go through some details in the final trailer of Black Myth Wukong, especially from a Chinese player's perspective, because we have been growing up watching Journey to the West in different media form, and I hope I can share a little bit more information to you guys that you may not know. One thing I do want to point out for many players who may not know is that we are actually not playing as Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, at least in most parts of the game. The story in-game actually happens after the end of the original Journey to the West story. So it's a world where the Buddha and the gods lost their power to maintain the order of the Western heaven. We are playing as another monkey called Tianminren, the Destined One, to find the reason behind it and bring order and justice back to the world. So with that in mind, let's head into the final trailer. Firstly, let's go through the intro scenes. We can see Huangfeng Ling, the Yellow Wind Ridge. We have seen this level for many times. For example, in last year's Gamescom gameplay video, the Fright Cliff, it is also in Yellow Wind Ridge. In that video, we have seen a series of detailed gameplay, including exploring the level, fighting the enemies, and collecting items. Xiao Li Long, Hu Xianfeng, and most of the stone human form enemies can all be seen in the level. Then, in the second scene, we can see Ziyun Shan, Purple Cloud Mountain. This is also shown in last year's footage. The Snake Lady, Mi Dao Ren, Du Di Da Wang are all in this level. Then we can see a Guai sitting there clapping her hands. It seems like she's welcoming all the players. Here I want to talk about the term Guai, which generally means monster, and it's a term that Chinese players call all the non-human enemies in games. We can hear it in the Gamescom gameplay.
In that cave, there's a rock Guai lurking.
And at the end of the final trailer.
Hunting that Guai is no simple task.
So I actually think that Game Science is trying to find a balance between using the original Chinese terms or translating the Chinese terms into English in the English version of the game. For example, levels like the Fright Cliff or Black Wind Mountain, they just translated them. But terms like Guai, it's almost impossible to find a word with the exact same meaning in English. So they keep the Chinese terms. We will definitely see more Chinese terms in the game, and I will make a video to explain them if it's necessary. Okay, let's get back to the trailer. What I call this Guai her is because she also appeared in last year's Gamescom gameplay, and she is the mother of stones. During the fight against her, she won't attack the player directly, but she summons a lot of stone minions to defend her. It's quite annoying though, and after beating her, we will receive an item called Stone Essence. Now, Mother of the Storms also appear in Purple Cloud Mountain. This might show that she is a regular Guai that we would find in different levels. Then it's a scene with a series of statues. I should emphasize that most statues and buildings you would see in the game, there are real-life references, because the art director Yang Qi of Black Myth has spent years traveling through almost all the ancient temples across China in order to photograph or scan the temples and the statues. So it means that if you visit China, you can find exactly same buildings and statues from the game in real life. Most of them are in Shanxi province. And these statues are from Yuhuang Temple in Jingcheng City, Shanxi province. They are from the 28 mansions of the Chinese constellation system. Our ancestors created them to reflect the movement of the moon. Also, they are kind of the equivalent to the zodiacal constellations in the Western astrology. I will put the names of them on the screen, but I won't try to explain every single of them because that can easily make a 30 minutes long video. The next scene with snow is from the level we've seen in the Unreal Engine 5 trailer in 2021. The Buddha in the middle is called Maitreya, or Mi Le Fo in Chinese. He is regarded as the future Buddha, and usually at his two sides should be two assistant Buddhas. But in this picture, there are two statues, and looks like they are Tang Dynasty governors, which doesn't make any sense. So if you are familiar with the Buddhism rules, you would know that this scene is Xiao Lei Yin Si. In the original novel, this is a fake heaven that created by the Yellow Brows King to trap the protagonist. Wukong fights the Yellow Brows King and has been trapped in the golden symbols, which we can see at the end of the 2021 trailer. And if we listen carefully, we can hear Wukong knocking the symbol from the inside. Later in this trailer, we can also see the Yellow Brows King tries to drag the monkey into his bag, so it must be a tough battle here. After the cut to the close-up to the Mi Le Fo, this gate we can also find a real-life reference, which is in Lingfen from Shanxi province. Then finally we reach the main part of the trailer. I think it's quite easy to see that in this trailer, Game Science shows a series of transformations of the monkey in the game. This actually reflects to the original novel that Wukong has the ability of 72 transformations. But bear in mind that it doesn't mean Wukong can only do 72 transformations. It's actually because 72 equals 9 times 8, and these two numbers are the highest single-digit numbers. So in Taoism, 8 and 9 combined is the concept of ultimate. So it just means Wukong can transform into basically anything he wants. So in terms of the transformations in the trailer, I would like to sum them up into 2 or potentially 3 different transformation systems. There are consistent transformations, instant transformations, or potentially transportations as well. Also, we haven't seen any official name of these systems. I just use these terms to describe them in this video. So the consistent transformations, we have already seen them since the first trailer in 2020, which the monkey transforms into characters that hold different weapons and have different skill sets. From the order in the trailer, we can see 赤潮, where the monkey transforms into a wolf human form and his weapon is a flamed blade. So he does a lot of flame or fire damage to the enemies, and this is the weakness of the boss 灵虚子 in the 黑风山 level. Then is 碧城, where the monkey transforms into a stone human form called 石灵灵. If you look closely, there are skulls on the body of it. Actually, we have seen a similar stone form before. It is called 石苍苍, which has no skulls on the body. So I'm pretty sure there are variations of certain types of transformations. Then we can see the monkey transformed into a bug monster fighting tree monsters in Purple Cloud Mountain. The ability is called 偶包, and the tree monsters are called 青冉冉. Their attack from the bug monster will poison the enemies, and also it is poison resistant itself. Then we can see a scene in 小雷音寺 again. We see a new transformation that it looks like it has a fast attacking speed and it's good at fighting multiple enemies at the same time. Then it's a double-headed rat monster fighting a giant spider in a scene from the 2022 trailer. So these are the consistent transformations. They would stay for a certain period of time. They are a bit like switching to different characters who have different weapons, abilities, and their own health bar. Their abilities can be used to counter specific enemies or bosses. That's actually our impression of Wukong's 72 transformations. But Game Science has a lot more to offer. Then we can hear a very catchy electro music with a mantra, which I will discuss in the end of the video. We can see a series of cutscenes that contain information of the story that I won't dive into them in this video. But if you want to know more, please leave a comment and I will be sharing them in the future. So the music pauses while the monkey is absorbing the spirit of a ghost Buddha into a gourd. Then starting from next cut, we can see a series of instant transformations. Firstly, the monkey transforms into the ghost Buddha in giving the tiger monster a heavy attack. Then a red minion with a running fire crossbow. A monster in a red robe with a quick dodge, a monk with a backstab to avoid enemies' attack, and then more instant transformations as well during boss fight. So I think we can assume that Game Science is not only showing the variety of transformations and how magnificent the boss fights are, but also they are trying to tell us which transformation has the advantage to certain type of bosses. Then finally the monkey transforms into a small tree to trick the false Buddha. It's just lovely and fun. So we can see that the instant transformations are a different system from the consistent transformations. They are more like abilities that the players can activate for a very short period of time. And there might be a third type of transformations, because we've seen many shots where the character is running from one level to another. For example, in this shot, we can see a fox or a wolf running on the snow. But in last year's release day trailer, we can also see a similar scene where it's the monkey sliding down the steep in the snow. So it's definitely a transformation, but I'm not sure if the players can control them or they are just cutscenes. So there might be a third type of transformations just for transportation between levels in the game. And in the final part of the video, I want to talk about the mantra I just mentioned. The mantra we heard is 往生咒, the mantra of rebirth in Pure Land. According to the Buddhist scripture, a person reciting this mantra can grant himself a peaceful and joyful life in this life, and allow them to be reborn into the Buddha Pure Land in his next life. It's also important that reciting this mantra help the spirits of the animals that the reciter killed in the past to ascend to a higher spiritual realm. So it is a very meaningful trailer music where the monkey kills all these creatures is actually helping them or saving them from their this life's struggles and bless them to born in a pure land in their next life. This also reflects one of the true meanings of the Buddhism. So these are the information I want to share from the final trailer of Black Myth Wukong. There are definitely still many lores and stories that we can discover from the game. So if you want to hear about them, please hit the like button and leave a comment below. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.